Hey, what's up, guys? I hope everyone is doing well. Today we're going to touch up some curves on an island. As you can see, those yellow curves right there, you see how they have been ran over. We're going to touch them up once again. So before we get into it, let me show you something that I feel like is important if you ever want to do this. You see how there's two colors. One is brighter than the other. So be mindful of that. One is like high visibility and another one's kind of like an orangish yellow. So we're going to use this orangish yellow today. So let me go ahead and mix that up and get it in the pan, and I'll get back with you. Alright, so let's go ahead and mix this up real quick. This thing's like halfway full. So we'll shake it up a little bit. And then once I open it up, I will probably hit it with a stir if it needs to be. Also, it's best to pour this while you are on grass, but if you don't have grass nearby, you can just pour it on a plastic bag, because what will happen is once you finish pouring, you may have like a drip come down like that, so be mindful of that. I'm gonna pour a whole bunch, just enough so I don't have to keep refilling so much. And as you can see, they had that dripping I was telling you about. So we're gonna put it on this trash bag. All right, let's work. And always keep a wet rag with you. All right. As you can see, this is an ATM. I'm gonna start from the most busy side first while there's no cars here. Now this client, they don't want us to paint the whole thing. They just want us to touch up the marks, because they have like some kind of area manager supposed to be visiting, so they just want to sparkle up the place a little bit. But if you were going to paint this whole thing, you would need like a cover. They sell like these metal covers that you can put here, so you won't get it on the ground like somebody else did in the past. And no, I'm not a professional painter, so don't beat me up in the comments. This is just something that I do when refrigeration and HVAC is slow. Right now we are in between seasons, and I'd rather do this than to deal with a hard-headed client, an HVAC client. Nearby for little stuff like that. Like, I'm sure this wouldn't bother the client, but it'll bother me to help with the dripping. And so this is the first coat. So we're gonna let the first coat dry up, and I'm gonna keep working down. Then I'm gonna come back with a second coat. And then the paint on the bottom does look different because it's an older paint. But once this newer paint dries up a bit, it'll fit in. It's gonna fit in nice. The same color that we always use. And this is another good point as well. As you can see, even with the first coat, as it's drying up, you can see how the paint is starting to blend in. So I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, like I said, and then come back, hit it with a second coat, and then they're gonna look just like that middle one. Also, here's a good point here. Like, if you really want to do it the right way, it's best to like sand and get the and chip off the chips, right? But This client, they don't want to do that right now. They just want like a little cheap polish. So that's what they want. So you know, there's nothing wrong with it. Later on they will do it the right way, but right now they just want to touch it up because they know that in about 2 or 3 days this stuff is going to be back ran over again. For some reason you just cannot stop people. The paint does not stop people from running it over. Also, where knee pads? Like if you got knee pads close by, usually I'm that type of guy. I'm like, I don't need knee pads, I don't need gloves, as you can see. But just protect yourself for longevity, for your kids, right? For your life. It only took about maybe less than 60 seconds for me to go get them and put them on. So take care of your limbs. Alright, now we're going to do the yellow on the other side. Alright, let's start on the heaviest traffic side first while there's no cars here. It looks like water damage this one more because you got that downspout right there. So let's talk about something real quick. So let's say you're in a situation like this where for example, this client didn't want the painter to get involved because they didn't want to spend too much, because they want to do it the right way later on. They just want a little touch up, like I said 3 or 4 times already in this video. But when you're in a situation like this and they don't want to do it the right way, what should you do, right? It's okay for the client to make their own decisions, right? What your job is to do is to advise them and to give them the disclaimer of what will happen and what you're not responsible for, and make sure it is in writing, make sure there is an agreement, make sure that they understand everything in that agreement, because there's some, right? There's times where, like, if it's really, really important and they don't have the money to do it, then they just have to call me back when they're ready to do it. But here, this is just paint, right? They already understand. They're not slow. And we also have an agreement. So just wanted to bring that up to you guys. All right, here's the other side. Looking good. I'm not gonna save this roller. I'm gonna buy a new one, and then what I do is I'll double bag that so I won't piss off the trash hauler. Then I'll go ahead and pick up some trash while I'm out here too with my picker. It was a perfect day to paint today because we got rain this whole week, and today was a bit windy, so it kind of felt like we were on the beach today. And also, I've heard of people saying that you're a jack of all trades but not great at anything, which is fine. I'm really good at HVAC and refrigeration, but I don't want to only be that. But it's okay being a specialist at something, right? I would prefer to take my things to get fixed by a specialist rather than someone who does everything. But me personally, I want to be the guy that can do anything, because it'll help me out when it's slow season, and also I could do these things at my house, at other people's homes, and it's my preference. So as you can see, I'm not the best at painting, but just get a roller and roll it up. So that's going to be the ending of this video. Everyone take care, and just like that sticker says, Jesus, I trust in you. And if you And if you don't know Jesus, I would suggest getting to know him. And I want to let everyone know, if you don't know, everyone is welcome. The Spirit is for everybody. And the Father loves you. He's just waiting for you with open arms. All right, you all take care. Love you guys.